What's good, sports family? We have a breaking news in the NBA. Yes, in the Dallas Mavericks organization. Star guard Kyrie Irving is out for the rest of the season, and let's get into this. So, as many of you guys know, Kyrie Irving, back in the March of 2025, he had torn his left ACL, which was repaired. But Irving has not appeared in any games this season due to the injury and has been working through his rehab process with the Mavericks medical staff. And the team is pretty much looking at long-term health over rushing for a return, especially with Dallas out of the playoff contention and enduring a long losing streak. Now, the return timelines are saying that it's for the 2026-2027 season. So both the Mavericks and Irving are targeting the start of that season for his return once he's fully cleared and confident in his knee. Irving has said that he wants to be 100% and even stronger before playing again. So they don't want to rush him. They want to see if he can take his time. A lot of players, yes, it was March of last year. Sometimes players can come back like next month, usually like a year process. But a lot of times it might take a little longer depending on the age, depending on the genetics of the person, how fast they heal, depending on their rehab, how well they do. So they want to take their time with Kyrie Irving, especially the fact that his age played a big factor. He got injured a lot throughout his career, and he just wants to, be 100% so that, there's no setback when he does play maybe like 3 or 4 games, he gets injured right away. Now, the impact on Irving's career, he's 33 years old, missing a full season is big, but Irving is signed a multi-year contract with the Mavericks, keeping him under team control through at least the 2027-28 season. He's a 9-time All-Star, one of the league's most profile scorers when healthy. Assuming full recovery, he's expected to return veteran leader and key contributor in the 26-27 season. Now, what's next for the Mavericks? Without star guard Kyrie Irving, who's going to step up? Are they going to make the playoff? What's their future and plans? Since, this is a big deal. This is a big injury. It's not like you hurt your finger or something. It's an ACL, which is very serious. It's going to impact a player's career. So, the 2025-26 finish and roster direction with Kyrie out. The Mavericks struggle below 500 outside of playoff positioning. Dallas is pretty much rebuilding / tanking mode late in the season. Dallas previously made major roster changes, including trading Anthony Davis away and relying more on youth. Their poor record improved their position for a high draft pick this season. Also, young core development. The Mavericks are likely to focus on developing younger players, including recent draft picks like Cooper Flags and all, for their future competitiveness. And last but not least, future and planning. Dallas, strategy over the next year will be heavily depending on Kyrie's health and then how the young pieces progress and what front office moves are made in the free agency or trade. If Irving returns strong and with the supporting cast improved, Dallas could reemerge as a contender around the 27th season. If not, additional rebuild elements might be explored. So, pretty much, it looks like the Mavericks are just fully tanking like every other team right now. As you know, all these teams are tanking, some of them on purpose, but they could definitely make a playoff if they want to try. But all these teams are just tanking because they want to get a high draft pick. And, why not have Kyrie just rest until fully healthy? The Mavericks are not going to make the playoff. And the Mavericks, like they did with the Anthony Davis trade, they want to get as much young pieces back as possible. I know, I think Bagley and Chris Middleton aren't rookie, they're young pieces. They're more like veteran, but they have younger pieces that they brought in and also already on the roster. And they just want to develop them. They want to see what's up, if they're good with the team next year or not. They could trade them or release them. So this is a pretty, I wouldn't say bad move by the Mavs, but it's a pretty interesting move, which I'll get into more detail of it and how I actually feel before we finish this up. So, these are the players going to be stepping up. Automatically, Cooper Flag is going to be the number one option for the team. He's already leading scorer with 20.4 points per game. And he also contributes across the board, rebound and assist, and showing ability to take over games. And number one pick, so he essentially becomes a go-to player and future cornerstone for the Dallas Mavericks squad. Next player, Najee Harris. Look at Najee Harris. They could play for the Nets or something back in the day. Or some other player in football or something. No, football. Steelers. Najee Marshall, secondary scoring option. Right now he's injured, so he's having a little ups and downs, but he had been doing 15 points per game, and he has been having a bigger role in the offense. Brandon Williams, Tyus Jones, Klay Thompson, P.J. Washington, as well as recent, trade Chris Middleton. So those players are all going to contribute, and as well as another player. He's like the shooting guard for the team now. I think he fills in for Kyrie now. So it looks like Cooper Flag is the main option, but you're going to see a lot coming from Najee, from P.J. Washington, maybe from Klay, but just know that the other players are just going to be little bits of, sometimes going to score a lot, sometimes won't score a lot, won't give you more assists, will give you a lot more rebounds type of thing. So just know Cooper Flag, Najee, PJ, and here and there other players are going to contribute in a big way. This is a really, really, really interesting move for the Mavs right now. I think this is a good move because you bring Anthony Davis with Kyrie Irving. Both of them only played. Wait, did they play with Cooper Flag? I think they played with Cooper Flag for like one game. If I'm correct on that, I might be wrong. No, I'm wrong with that. My bad. Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving played with each other for like 1 to 3 games out of a year or two of being together. Or whatever you want to say. Yeah. So, I'm trying to remember the timeline when he came to the Mavericks. But that's crazy because a lot of these teams, I get it. You bring these players in to pair up with Kyrie or Anthony Davis. But the fact that do you not realize for the 500th time why, they don't stay healthy? You waste your draft picks. You waste the players that you definitely could have kept. And it's just like you could have not had to give up any of that, knowing the fact that this guy is always injured. It just doesn't make any sense. It just really doesn't. I would have never traded for Anthony Davis. No, because he's always injured. And I see this a lot because I play fantasy basketball. And every single year I see some type of injury, even watching basketball. I've always seen every single time someone drafted him, there was always a problem. And I remember the first year I got Anthony Davis, I was hyped. I'm like, I'm going to beat everyone. Boom. He was out every single week. And it was so frustrating. I'm like, come on, man. And, but back to the Kyrie Irving thing. It's a totally different topic to talk about. Kyrie Irving, I think he'll come back better. I'm not sure 100% because he's 33 years old. He kind of wants to retire really soon. I just don't know how long he's going to play in the NBA and how long this is going to heal. It might heal a little longer than after. Who knows? Sometimes there's setbacks and all. But if he does come back and you see how the Mavs are already in place and they can bring another big name player in, which I highly doubt it because I think they're focusing more of youth now compared to winning right now. But if for some reason they could bring someone that's pretty good, that's not like an all-star, but good player, like a Norman Powell type of player. I'm not saying Norman Powell's not going to come, but I'm saying a player like Norman Powell or something like that on the team, I think it makes the Mavs much more competitive. But we just have to wait and see how Kyrie Irving does. I hope a speedy recovery for him. I hope the Mavs get their pick. They're definitely not going to make the playoffs, knowing how their rosters right now constructed. But yeah, just wait and see. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this. Is this a smart move or a not so smart move for the Mavs to let Kyrie Irving stay out for the rest of the season? I think it's a smart move. Gotta be fully healthy in order to play all 100-something games, or how many games there are now in the NBA. And yeah, I'll see you guys next video.